Khemjira is a Thai BL drama adapted from the novel Khemjira Will Survive by Kali. So Khemjira has three directors. The first one is Ron, who has never directed anything before. And we have Otfin, who has directed The Next Prince. We also have Dan, who has directed Shine and surprisingly directed Only Friends. We have Namping, who plays the main character of Em, and also Kang, who plays Pam, and as we like to call him, Master. We also have other casts that I will discuss about in the following. And in this video, I'll be reviewing Khemjira and telling you guys why it is my best BL drama of 2025. Khemjira is born into a family where all the sons are cast and the daughters are not. And as he reached the age 21, all the sons should die. Kem's mom gives him the name Khemjira, meaning forever safe. However, as his birthday approaches, his family's considered methods of protection begin to fail. Only the shaman master seems to have the power to help him. The show is deeply rooted in rural Thailand, and honestly this is where it really shines the most, as the director captures the beautiful cinematography of rural Thailand. The sets are very beautiful. Although this is a horror show where there's a bunch of ghosts, it's not just a ghost show. We're stepping into Thai shamanism, we're stepping into Buddhism belief systems, and we're learning a lot about reincarnation and karma. For someone like me who had no idea about this world, I've learned so much from this show. What I really enjoyed about this show is the amount of research that has been put into this. The rituals and the prayers feel very well researched and very intentional. Nothing feels random or just there for aesthetic. You can tell that the creators really understood the culture they were portraying. The respect that the directors and the writers really gave to the show really was shown to us, and it was shown very clearly. Let's talk about the actual characters. I will talk about the good and the bad. Or Pim, we can just call him Master, the stoic shaman we all fell for. Now, I kind of went viral on TikTok because of how much I was thirsting over this man, and to be honest, he's one of the most beautiful men I've ever seen. Eye candy after eye candy. Every time he was on the screen, he would do the screen. Ultimate eye candy. So Master is a shaman who is asked to save Kem. At first he refuses, not because he doesn't care, but because he is thinking about what has happened before and he doesn't want it to happen again. As we watch the show, it is revealed that Kem used to be his husband in the past life. That's when we as the audience start to understand a little bit of why Master is making the decisions he's making. Kang plays Master beautifully with minimum dialogue, heavy presence, micro expressions that just say everything he's feeling. He didn't need to say everything that was on his mind. He would just express it very well. Now, the biggest issue I have with Master is how fast he falls in love and at what point he falls in love. It feels like it's a very sudden and quick and he falls in love. And it's just like, but you were saying no all this time and all of a sudden you fall in love. So that was the only thing I didn't like about Master as a whole. In total, I think Kang delivered his line beautifully, executed this character very well. I have no complaints about the acting that Kang did for Master. Honestly, I wish I could give him the Oscars because he did such a great job. Bravo. Talk about Kem as a character. So I understand this is Namping's first major role. You can see that even with his acting, there's still room for improvements, which is fine. But I think for what he was given, he really executed it very well. And I really want to give him his flowers. He did a very good job with the script he was given. So I have no issue with the actor themselves. Although I feel like there's definitely room for improvement, he did the best he can with what he was given. But the issue I have with the character, which is Khemjira, is the fact that it is so underwritten. This character is so underdeveloped to the point where when I was watching it, it was very frustrating to have a main character that is written this way. So really the main issue I have with Khemjira is the writers. Okay, the writer were not able to give us a well fleshed out character that is well developed, who was going to have a great character development from episode 1 to episode 12. It looked as if there was no character development. The Kang that we met in episode 1 was the same one in episode 12. The same people. Especially the moment that asked for the master's protection, he started cleaning. He started cooking. He started crying. All these things. I was like, what are you doing? You're wasting time. This is not the time to clean the house. It's not the time to do all these things. It's time to find ways to save yourself. Do something. It felt as if he was just wasting time doing irrelevant things, and that was just irrelevant to him being saved. Like, bro, you don't have time to be cleaning. You're gonna die soon, you know? It felt as if he had almost no agency. And for a character that wants to survive past the age of 21, his priorities shifted way too fast to romance. The moment that he was revealed that he was the past husband to Master, he was so in love. For some episode, I almost forgot that this guy has a whole spirit chasing after him. There was a whole lot of crying. Instead of being a doer. For me, I just can't relate to Chem as a character, because there's no way you're gonna find me falling in love, crying all the time, or cooking, washing, if they've got a ghost that is about to like unalive me. At some point, I felt as if, why don't you do some research? Like, in every story like this, the main character finds a hidden book somewhere, has connect, like they do a little bit of training, they learn about the spirit world. At least try to learn like new prayers, communicate with the spirit stuff, like try to do other things rather than just cry all the time. So this whole idea that he was powerless from the very first episode to the 12th episode was really annoying, especially when he learns about a rampant tragedy. That should have been a really massive emotional reckoning. We should have really seen a quick change in Cam as a character, but it's as if he learned about ramping and why she's doing what she's doing instead of apologizing or anything. It was just kind of like, we got nothing. That was such a great moment when Ramping showed him what has happened in the past. I was expecting the major growth and development, and we didn't get that. We did not get that. I got frustrated a few times. It's heartbreaking because really that was the biggest flaw of this story, because this was our main character. We really needed him to grow, and if he had grown, this show could have really been 10 out of 10, 100%, and have been more enjoyable and less frustrating than it was. The romance in this show really leans in hard on fate and past lives. Really understand why Cam fell for Master in this current life, right? For example, he's the only person that is literally keeping you alive, your only protection from death. Of course, you're gonna fall in love with Master, and also he's like literally a Greek god. So I really understand why Cam falls in love with Master. However, I don't understand why Master has a 360 from one episode to the other one, and he all of a sudden is in love with Cam. And the real reason for why in this lifetime, other than destiny, I guess, why in this lifetime he is falling in love with Cam, it's not really explained or explored. I didn't really understand, to be honest, why Master ended up falling in love with Cam. I really did enjoy their romance. To see Master, who is very stoic character, soften up was really, really enjoyable. I really enjoyed their kiss scenes were very good. The NC scenes were very good. There was definitely chemistry between these two characters, and I really enjoyed them as a couple. As this is a BL, it really delivered on that front. There were times where I felt like their romance were a little bit too slow, but it was okay because I really went into this knowing that this is a character-driven story and that this is not just gonna give me the BL off the heart. And it didn't bother me too much that it was a slow burn, but there were moments, especially around episode 4, 5, I just felt as if the show itself was going a little too slow. You know what I mean? But overall, I really enjoyed the romance in this show. It was definitely an enjoyable ride. I really do enjoy the slow burn. If you're not into slow burn, you absolutely won't be be able to handle this show. But if you're into slow burn, you will enjoy it. Now let's talk about Jet and Chan, who are played by Matimam and also played by First One. Jet and Chan completely stole my heart. We really enjoyed every scene they were in front of our TV. They are very goofy, they were very chaotic, they were very funny. It was just such a great break from the heavy emotional scenes of Master and Kem and the bad guy and the rest of the show. When these two are on the screen, you know you're going to laugh, you're going to have a good time. They were a really good, nice break from everything that was happening in the show. So I really enjoyed their scenes. One thing me and my friend really enjoyed about these two is the fact that they were emotionally honest. Communication between them was just chef's kiss. Now, while it's Kem and Master, there were scenes that I was screaming in front on top of my lungs. Please just communicate. Talk to each other. Like, just say what you're thinking. Talk to each other. I never had that problem with Jet and Chan. As soon as they feel something, they will talk about it. As soon as this happens, they will talk about it and they will move forward together and they will solve things together. And I really enjoyed their dynamic. Just such a breath of fresh air in the whole show. This was just chef's kiss. At some point, I did enjoy their story more than the main couple at some points. There are some scenes that I really enjoyed. For example, when realizing how Chan is so beautiful after he gets wet and loses his glasses, it's kind of like, oh my god. It's kind of that typical Roman cliche where if someone removes their glasses, now they're hot. And I really like, it was so like silly and cute. I really liked that moment. I really enjoyed them because they felt so real and emotionally mature. Actors did such a great job because they didn't make me feel like I was watching a actor playing a character. It really felt like they are those characters for real. Honestly, bravo. They really did a great job. I can't sing enough praises of the actors that played Jet and Chan. Now, if you have seen and watched my Khemjira film review, you know who my favorite character is gonna be. I sang so much praise about this character to the point where I thought my voice was gonna go out because of how much I love this character. Not only did I love the actress, I've already spoiled it. It is Rampang. Now, this villain, the bad guy, really stole the show for me to the point where I said I might have to follow this actress even when they play other shows that are not BL. That is because of how amazing and a great job she did. She really, wow. I am someone very critical about things, and it takes a very special person for me to be wild and for me to be mind blown. And for me, the actress Green who plays Ramping, wow. Great casting, great acting. She really was the soul of the drama. Yes, she is a villain, but as you grow deeper and learn about Rampang, you kind of start to understand her pain. You kind of start to some degree sympathizing with her and a little bit rooting for her, a little bit. There's a scene where a mom is about to unalive their baby and then Rampang kind of stops that. She stops that. Not even Master, nobody else was able to stop that mom. But Ramping herself, even though she's supposed to be quote unquote the bad guy, she saves the baby. So it's kind of like those little scenes that you see Ramping and you're like, am I really supposed to hate Ramping that hard, that much? I kind of enjoy her. I kind of like her. So you as the viewer, you kind of develop feelings and you have a little bit of a character development from the very first episode you see Ramping to the last episode. You kind of grow to like her, and it's a really interesting phenomenon. Now, let's talk about her styling, her makeup, and how it was done beautifully and masterfully. Really impressed. And as you observe the show, the makeup and the styling and her outfits starts to deteriorate over time. The ramping we met in episode 1 was well put together, but you notice as episodes go ahead, and you have to really be keeping notice. You have to be really paying attention. You start to see that, we're reaching the end. Something is happening. She's turning more evil. Her clothing is turning more darker. Her makeup is more, quote unquote, uglier. She's looking as if her face is melting. It really hits you that she really has been destroyed slowly by this grief, by this revenge that she's been feeling. So for me, what I really like about this character, this female villain, is how it was written. There was so much respect that was given to her. She is not just a vengeful spirit and that was it. They breathed life into her character. The way she acted was phenomenal. At one point, I was like, there is no way anybody can beat her. To have a female character written in a BL where she's the most powerful being, and even Master was like, I can't beat her. I cannot beat her. Until the end, nobody was able to beat her other than herself. They had to convince her, which they did, to be a good person again, or to let go of her revenge, because that was the only way to stop it. There was nothing else they could have done. All 12 episodes, there was nothing they could have done to stop ramping. And that beautiful writing, I really, really appreciated it. Some people didn't like how Master was not able to beat ramping, but it was never gonna be able to beat her. She was not meant to be beaten by anybody. It was just, I really love how the producers concluded the story. I really like, because there was nobody deserving to beat ramping. She was powerful. She was beautifully written. She was a whole full-fledged character that was just, I really love it when they make a good bad guy, guys, with great motives, a reason for revenge, and would do anything to get their revenge. I really love revenge stories, and I really, really adored Ramping. I really think that she deserved an apology, which she didn't get. What was done to her was horrific, and the only thing that I really didn't like is that nobody acknowledged or apologized for wronging her. Nobody did, not even Kane. And it really annoyed me till the very end, because I feel like maybe if somebody had apologized earlier, maybe she would have stopped her revenge earlier. But nobody did. Nobody. Till the very end, till the show ended, nobody apologized for what she went through. And for me, I feel like that's injustice. Now, this show is 12 episodes long, and some episodes were 2 hours long, which might terrify some people who are not sure. For me, it was 3 hours, 4 hours, because I was reacting to it. So it takes a bit longer because there's a lot of pausing and talking. So really, definitely for me, it was a very long series. But although it was a very long series, it didn't drag. They are, like I said, episode 4 and 3 that I thought we could move things a little bit faster. But overall, the show did not drag. It really needed that long period of time to really give us a full-fledged storyline. You can really tell that the story was carefully mapped out. And although some episodes feel like filler episodes, like scenes, which I think, like I said, some people might struggle, some people might drop. But definitely, if you have dropped Khemjira because of those, I would say just keep going, because it does get better. Ultimately, I didn't really have too much of an issue with the pacing of the show. So now let's talk about the making of the show, the visuals, the sound design, the OCT, the meat and potatoes of the masterpiece that is Khemjira. The sound design was phenomenal, guys. Honestly, I cannot sing enough praises. One of the best sound design I've seen in BL drama world. Maybe after I told Sunset About You, this sound design was just phenomenal, to say the least. The opening song sang by King, and some of the songs were sang by Namping were just phenomenal, tasteful. They made you feel things. They made you feel emotional. The scenes a little bit better. I really enjoyed their beautiful voices that really was giving so much emotion, especially in the last few episodes. I really felt everything. Like, I didn't understand Thai, but I really felt all the things that especially Master was feeling towards his loved one who he can't save no matter how much he wants to save. And that OCT was just so beautiful, so emotionally driven, so beautifully written, a masterpiece of an opening song. Honestly, I cannot sing the praises enough of the OCT in this show. There was not a single miss. Also, the opening, I can literally make a whole dissertation, a 10,000 word dissertation of the mantra, boom, boom, boom. It's like a standing ovation. Like, it was as if when you hear it, Khemjira has arrived. Time for Khemjira. Serious business. It is here. It is. We're going to see Master. We're going to see Ramping. And we're going to see Kem maybe crying. But we're going to see Kem anyway. It was like a demanding sound to your attention. Like, stop everything you're doing. Greatness is here. Oh my God. Whew. I cannot sing praises enough. This, honestly, I will put it in the same league as Game of Thrones opening song. Honestly, really put Khemjira for me at a level where it's like, take me seriously. I am greatness. I am here because I am made by people that are intentional about making great content, about making greatness. I don't even have words to explain to you how amazing the mantra was. It deserves praise. And also, I really like how it really fits the mood of the whole show. It also doesn't spoil anything, which I really love. Honestly, I don't even know what to say. I wish I had better words to explain how impressed I was, other than on the league of Game of Thrones opening song. So that is high praise. That is high praise. The songs for the whole show, I literally have a playlist and I play them all the time. T-pop really is showing how serious it is on the world stage. Now, the cinematography was just amazing and the production was top notch. The setting of the story in a rural area makes the whole show very beautiful. It really gave a different view than most BL dramas, which are set or filmed in modern cities like Bangkok. The director really did a great job with filming every scene. Every scene was well thought out. There was no wasted scene, and each scene had really careful, well thought out angles. The correct emotions were really shown. The cinematography is just stunning. It is shot in 2.1 aspect ratio, which means that it is wider than normal TV, and that's why it feels like you're watching a movie. It feels more cinematic than normal BLs. This is how they normally film movies than most BL dramas, the way they shot it as well. Talking about the landscape as a whole, there is rural landscapes that are shown, there's shrines, there is traditional homes that add so much to the atmosphere, add so much to what makes this show very special and so beautiful. They really invested a lot in their in those sets, and I'm sure they probably built some of the sets themselves from Master's house. It looks like it was designed specifically for this show. The color saturation of this show was exactly my style. It was kind of so crazy because I was like, this is exactly my type of color saturation and color grading. I cannot sing enough praises of how beautiful, how beautifully shot this show was. And not just that, the CGI, honestly, me and my friend, we were like, did you see that? Did you see that? That's a beautiful shot. That is a beautiful CGI. Like, there was this moment when first night that Chem stays at Master's house and there's this like invisible barrier that appears from nowhere, and wow, beautiful, amazing, really well done. I honestly, the CGI in this show, it didn't appear all the time, but when it did, it didn't leave me disappointed at all. So very well done to the directors and the editors. They really did a great job. It's really the best I've seen in BL, honestly. The makeup scene where they go back in time, where they are in the past and, you know, the ancient times, and where all of that, and you can really see how beautiful they really managed to capture those scenes. The makeup, the costumes, oh my god, so beautiful, honestly, especially all the ladies. Like, I got to learn so much about Thailand from this show. Everything was so meaningful. The designers did above and beyond, really respected us as viewers, and it literally puts me close to tears how much thoughtful and how much respect the art directors, the set directors, the makeup people, the costume designers really put into this. I can't praise them enough. Literally all the behind the scenes was done to perfection. There was no stones unturned. Honestly, just a masterpiece from all the behind the scenes crew. I can't praise them enough. Really, really a good job, well done. I also love how the transition were carried out. There was a scene where they move. It is, the camera is right there and they're talking. So Chem and Master are talking and it pins to when in their past life. And that whole transition was just so beautiful. I really appreciate when a director doesn't take the mundane things to do things and tries to do something new, something interesting, try to add something to the scene. So I really appreciated how the camera moved and the editing of that scene and the transition of that scene. It looks very simple, guys, but I swear, like, it's the little things that you can really tell a director is in love with their show, is passionate about cinematography. And these three directors, for me, really show that they are really, really passionate about their job. And as directors, I really will follow all three of them because I am so impressed with how great of the directing that was done in Khemjira. As for acting standouts, I really will give Green. She is my favorite actress in the whole show. Really the powerhouse performance of the show. It really elevates the whole series. What her amazing performance. This show would not have hit the way it did. We really needed a good bad guy that knows that they're bad and completely convinced that they're bad and will carry it out till the very end. She was really, really handled with respect and love from Green. As for the ending, a lot of people were not happy with the ending. They were not satisfied with the ending. But for me, I thought that was the best ending. Other than the fact that nobody apologized to Ramping, for me, I thought that was the only way to beat Ramping. It definitely was not the easy way out, as people say it was. Ramping resolution is very painful. It's very emotional. Hopefully, she ends up moving on to the next life. Enjoyed how everything was wrapped up together. There was not really any loose ends. I almost forgot. One of the characters that annoyed me in this show was the parents. Yes, I know someone in the comments once said, oh, Kem's dad left to be a monk because he wanted to accumulate karma points for Kem. So that's why he abandoned his son to fight ghosts by themselves. I really understand this, but did it work? Because Kem still needed protection from Master. Did the karma that he accumulated really work? It was never shown in the story that the karma that the dad is accumulating is helping Kem in any way. I didn't see that in the show. The dad was like, this is something above my pay grade. I'm just gonna be a monk and just pray that you be fine. Like, even at the end scene, we had another monk that was there to help Kem out. Why wasn't the dad there? Why wasn't the dad called to be like, yo, we're about to fight, this is the end, come and help us, come and pray with us and like help us out. He was not there. So that is also a character that really annoyed me. Also the mom, she was just there, and then one moment she was like, oh, I'm going. Of course I understand that she had passed away and she wanted to move on with her life, blah blah blah, but she just left him with this stranger of a man, right, that has not even agreed to protect Kem at that point in time. The master had not said, yes, I would definitely protect Kem. She was just like, oh, I'm just gonna leave, here's my son. And it's just kind of like crazy. It's wild. I didn't like Kem's parents at all. I thought they were putting all this burden on master, and they abandoned Kem. If my parents did any of that, I would not be happy. And I understand that being a monk is like serious, it's important, but I do feel like he could have still been there. There were so many times that like he could have helped, he could have helped as a monk, but he didn't. Okay, so I know people disagree with me, and that is just how I feel. That is just how I feel. I thought that both of the parents pissed me off. I didn't like them. In total, I really will rate Khemjira a 9.9 out of 10. Okay, other than the few things that I have pointed out, honestly, it is honestly deserving to be the best BL drama of 2025. It was very ambitious, but it was a great ambition, and they really exceeded all my expectations. It's not perfect, but it is memorable. It is very close to perfection. This show succeeds by showing cultural depth, a phenomenal villain, strong secondary romance. I really felt an emotional connection to the series. Every scene, every emotion, every detail has really stayed with me in my brain. It really came together beautifully. From the writing to the cinematography, I really enjoyed the story as a whole, and I am so grateful that I got to experience and I got to watch something so beautiful, so amazing. And I want to say thank you so much to the production team and to the actors, to the writers, to the sponsors. Thank you so much for respecting us as viewers and for giving us greatness. With that, guys, that's my review of Khemjira. Thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe and like this video. Let me know if you like this kind of videos where I am doing reviews. This is really one of my passion, guys. I've really started this YouTube channel because I really want to do BL reviews. This is literally my passion. I really like diving deep into the story, into all the aspects that makes a BL drama great. And so please let me know. Please just tell me in the comments below if this is something that you really enjoy. I just need some indication that people enjoy this kind of content, because I really love making reviews for what I watch. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.